My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago.
We're fucking back, dog. We're back. Oh shit, hold on. We need our avatars. Alright, there you are. There I am. Hey! Look at that.
Hey, how long has it been?
Months and months and months. I can't remember. I could look it up.
Yeah.
I could look it up real quick.
It doesn't really matter though.
When was number? I'm curious though. Now that you ask, when was 116? I gotta find. Come here.
It's been a while. It's been a long ass while.
Jesus Christ! It's 3 pages back on my Rumble channel. 5 months ago.
Jeez.
Which is actually not as much time as I thought. So that means we did one in like November or December.
November, yeah. Probably either right around the election, maybe?
Possibly. I don't even remember what the fuck. See it now. Let me look it up again. God damn it. Like, I don't even remember what did we call number 116. Oh yeah, it was right after Trump was on Rogan's podcast because I called 116 Trump cross Rogan.
Oh.
I gave it like an anime title.
Well, there you go.
And then the one that we did before that, 115, was right after Trump did the burger spot at McDonald's. So, or the fry spot because he made fries. He didn't make burgers, but that's what I called the episode.
Still a fucking icon, that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I called that episode Donald Trump Humble Burger Merchant.
Yep.
Yeah, I transitioned into solo content because scheduling conflicts. But, you know, hey, we're back. We're going to try to make this consistent again.
Mm-hmm.
And,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. Like, you know, there was a while there where we could have just started doing it again, but I just couldn't be fucked. For one reason or another. Anyway, if you're in, I see we got a couple people watching. So, You know,
Oh, hey, that's good.
smash that like button, and
Oh god, the fact that they're doing that shit.
comment you got to comment in the chat. Well, yeah, because we're streaming it. We're streaming it now, so
Right. Yeah, that still hasn't gone through my head.
streaming it on
But
Rumble. We're on Rumble. It's Liberation Day. Okay, well, Liberation Day was the 2nd of April, but that's what Trump called it. Trump called his tariff package. He called it Liberation Day.
Yep.
But anyway, shout out to the Daily fucking Wire, which isn't going anywhere, by the way. Like, I know a lot of people are like chomping at the bit for them to just completely collapse. It's like, no, their entertainment section, yeah, they hired a bankruptcy attorney, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to file for bankruptcy. And Jeremy Boring stepped down as CEO. That doesn't mean the company's collapsing. Like, it's just they spent way too much money on a bunch of entertainment products.
Of irrelevant projects.
Yeah, like, look,
like that's not the Daily Wire's bread and butter. Like they should have focused on
Run,
what
hide,
got them this big in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Run, Hide, Fight flopped. You know, Terror on the Prairie flopped. Mr. Burcham flopped. A lot of the kids' programming, which I heard was good, but a lot of it flopped. They spent a shitload of money on the Brett Cooper Snow White movie, and it's probably never going to come out. Jeremy Boring has
because Brett Cooper left.
Yeah, Jeremy Boring has spent a shitload of money on his Pendragon cycle, which, from what I understand, they're still going to put that out.
Yeah, I heard it's actually like I heard it's good because it's Andrew Clavens writing.
Oh well, right? We'll see what happens there.
So
like,
we'll see.
I'll check it out. Like, I probably watched worse stuff and enjoyed it. So, but still, like Daily Wire, like I think Daily Wire is going to go.
Yeah, we're not exactly well known for our refined tastes.
And I think exactly, but no, I think that like Daily Wire will ultimately be fine. Like a lot of people are just hoping that they're going to go away, but I don't think they will. But anyway, yeah, like I said, Trump unleashes Liberation Day tariffs because we need to be liberated from other countries, not by getting them to stop tariffing us, but we're going to just tariff the shit out of them. It's supposed to be reciprocal tariffing. Like any country that puts tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs back on them. Or at least that's how it's kind of being sold. A lot of people are really not happy about it. A lot of people...
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people are really sort of a bitch fit about it.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, I saw somebody say the other day, it's funny watching all these people who never gave a shit about the free market pretend like they care about the free market all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Like, look, as much as I would love completely unfettered laissez-faire capitalism, that's not the world we live in.
Nope.
Now, if Trump is actually going to do the thing where if we like renegotiate it and like tariffs come off of our products going into their country and then we release tariffs from them, like whatever, like Japan is currently going to get tariffed, and the next
Israel is being tariffed at the moment, and that's got a lot of people being all up in arms and shit, which is fucking hilarious.
It is.
Because, like the claim is that, Trump is a fucking Zionist stooge. And then he does this.
Well, Israel has apparently announced, which I don't have anything up for, but Israel apparently announced that they're going to stop tariffing all American products. So probably, and then same thing with Vietnam. Vietnam wants to renegotiate tariffs with Trump, and this was this was within a couple days of this event, the Liberation Day event. So like,
they basically fucking caved almost instantly.
There's a couple countries who like he probably isn't going to stop tariffing them. Like apparently, I don't think it depends on like how China comes to the table, but like I don't see us not tariffing China. Mostly because we have way too much of our economy wrapped up in China, which is not. It's not a good thing. I don't like the fact that all of our steel comes from China. Like, it's easy to say, like, we get everything from China, but our steel comes from China, our rubber comes from China, our pharmaceuticals come from China, a lot of our food comes from China. Like, I understand that we could produce everything we need right here in the United States, go full isolationist, but it's probably not the best idea. We should probably
not the best idea ever. Yeah, not the best idea ever created in the history of humanity.
be open to trade. But anyway, let's carry on. On Wednesday, President Donald Trump unveiled his Liberation Day plan for implementing reciprocal tariffs on imports to rectify what he views as a decades-long trade imbalance between the United States and other countries. At an event in the White House Rose Garden, Trump signed an executive order after he declared that foreign nations will be charged roughly half of what they impose with tariffs, including China and India, as well as the European Union. Like up here, China currently has a 67% tariff on our products going into their country, so we're going to tariff them 34%.
Mm.
The EU has a 39% tariff, we're going to tariff them 20%. Vietnam has a 90% tariff, we're going to tariff them 46%. Taiwan has a 64% tariff, we're going to tariff them 32%. Japan has a 46% tariff, we're going to start tariffing them 24%. I wonder if that also applies to Japanese-made products here in the United States. Like American-made Toyota vehicles going to go up in price, or only the imports? And that's just one example.
Yeah, that's curious. Yeah. Like, or like Hyundai and Kia have a ton of factories in the US.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, from what I understand, it doesn't apply to those. Because at the end of it, because like a lot of the, like, from what I've heard, the companies that are based in these countries that would otherwise be targeted, they're building in the US in order to avoid that shit.
Oh yeah, that was another one right after Liberation Day that I read. Was immediately the South Koreans immediately kind of start, like, the president of Hyundai in South Korea immediately was like, hey, let's build more factories in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out they're the biggest market in the world for our cars. So, let's try to keep that from happening.
Yeah, like, almost like it would be a good idea to not fuck with them.
Yeah.
They're the biggest market. Like, just an idea, boys. Just an idea.
Well, let's see. India has 52%, 26%. South Korea 50%. We're gonna hit them with 25%. Thailand 72%. We're gonna hit them with 36%. Switzerland 61%. We're gonna hit them with 31%. Let's get Israel 33% tariffs. We're hitting them with 17%. But again, as we were just saying, that's going to be renegotiated or probably done away with completely if Israel really does completely stop tariffing us. The Philippines has a 34% tariff on American products, and we're going to hit them with 17%. What gets produced in the Philippines that gets, like, imported here? Banana ketchup?
That's a good fucking question. I'm not sure, actually. I say get rid of the tariff and just annex the fucking place.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's so obsessed with getting Canada and Greenland, which I get. Canada is a meme, but I understand why we would want Greenland. But yeah, we should take that spirit and be all like, no, the Philippines is getting territory status again, and possible statehood if they play their cards right. It's like, hey guys, how would you like to be able to travel to the Philippines and not have to have a passport? Because it's American territory.
Godsend to the passport bros.
Yeah, I actually read a Passport Bro horror story the other day about a guy who went to the Philippines and married a chick, and she moved her whole fucking family into the house that he bought.
US.
Well, no. Oh. He was living in the Philippines. He buys a house in the Philippines, and she moved her entire family into the house, including, like, what was supposed
extended
to be
family.
Yeah, well, her parents, her brother, her brother's wife, and her niece and nephew. But then he come to find out later on that the niece and nephew were her kids. And that she had done this at least 2 other times in the past. So he sold.
Holy shit.
So he apparently sold everything he owned in the Philippines, completely emptied out all his bank accounts, and went home, and then just never spoke to her again.
Wow. I mean, smart move, really. That's what you should have done to begin with.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, if you're gonna go find a wife in the Philippines, you gotta find one with no family. Find you an orphan.
No, not fucking find one with no family. Just, like, find one with,
of course,
a good background. Someone with someone you can trust, facilitating it, shall we say?
Indeed. Here's an interesting one. What do we import from the people from? Every time I see Republic of, I want to say the People's Republic of, like it's communist, but the Republic of Congo. Like, what do we import from the Congo other than diamonds? Wait, does Congo even produce diamonds
I don't know
or
actually.
cobalt or something? What
I
comes out of
legitimately do
Congo?
not know, bro. I don't know.
And look at this. Apparently, if you have a 10% tariff on our product, we just hit you with a 10. All these other tariffs is usually like half rounded up. So like here, Syria, they have an 81% tariff on our stuff, so we hit them with a 41%. So half rounded up. But then if
Yeah.
your thing is only 10%, then we go ahead and just only hit you with a 10% tariff. The British Virgin Islands. Rwanda. Oh, a lot of countries only have 10% tariffs on us.
That's not too bad, I guess.
No, I suppose not. But
Still,
an interesting question is that if tariffs,
like, why the fuck would they have tariffs against? Uh, okay, sure.
well, like an interesting
I'm not even
question
gonna ask.
that I've seen brought up is that look, I'm not an economist, so I don't know. Like obviously there's the initial effect of tariffs which causes prices to raise. Fine, like I'm cognizant of that. But Trump did tariffs in his first term, and prices like stabilized, and things started to go down. So like I don't know if every single country in the world puts tariffs on not just us, but almost every other country's imports. Why are we the only country in the world that doesn't do it?
Yeah, yeah, that's a fair question, isn't it?
Yeah. Now a fair counterpoint. Shout out to our friend Deej, who has been a guest on the show a couple years ago, multiple times actually. Filled in for you a couple times while you weren't here.
Yep.
An interesting thing he brought up is that, okay, fine, and in the time when we had no tariffs on anybody, when we had basically completely free trade, why were we the most powerful economy in the world? Now, the counter to that point, I would say, would be because we were also one of the greatest manufacturers in the world. But due to free trade, that's not the case anymore. A lot of that has gone to China.
Or India, or Vietnam.
Yeah.
Who, impose a 99% tariff on our shit.
Yeah, well, apparently not anymore because they're all like, "Oh shit, we better walk some of this back." Anyway, other countries will face steeper penalties in accordance with a 10% baseline, as shown in the poster that Trump held up as he spoke. That means nations such as the United Kingdom and Brazil will face a 10% rate matching the amount they charge. It is interesting that the UK only puts a 10% tariff on our stuff, but we are their closest ally in the world, so it would behoove them not
They
to.
kind of have no choice.
Yeah.
It would behoove them not to piss us off that much. As much as the Brits like to have a remnant of British pride or whatever, it's like no. Britain is second fiddle to the United States, whether they like it or not.
It's fucking Trump and his posters.
Fucking loves those charts, man.
Yes, he does. Especially it's my favorite chart.
Especially since one of them saved his life, basically.
It's a beautiful chart. Quote, we just heard that, but my fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, Trump said. April 2nd, 2025 will be forever remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day we began to make America wealthy again. That was the bit that I used for the cold open. Scroll down. Yeah, we all heard all that. Pillaged and raped, and I mean, he fucking went for it too. He used the R word. He used grape, as they say on YouTube.
I hate the fact that we have to censor that shit.
Oh well,
it's such a dumb fucking way of saying it.
I agree. I hate it. I'm not going to do that. Like whenever I go to edit this podcast to put it up on YouTube, I'm mostly just gonna be cutting out like dead air. But no, I'm not gonna edit out rape. Rape, rapity, rape. Like I don't care.
It's such a dumb fucking thing, though. What? I genuinely don't get it. Like, what's so offensive about that? It has to be saying.
I'm not gonna say grape. I'm not gonna say essayed. I'm not gonna say unalived. I'm not gonna say self-delete. I'm just gonna use the words because they're just words. I don't we're not going to get monetized
Mhm.
on YouTube anyway. If we do grow this thing again to the point, it's like if we make any money off this, we making money off like ad reads and like
Do you think you're
merch.
gonna get some of that Birch Gold sponsorship there, Help?
Sure, Birch Gold. Listen, I'll sell Birch Gold. I'll sell My Pillows. I'll sell purple mattresses. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, no, if we make money off this, it'd be from ad reads and from like selling T-shirts if I ever decide to make merch. The Daily Wire's.
Yeah. Why not? Why the fuck not? Daily Wise model is successful for a reason, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't care about AdSense revenue on YouTube because, first of all, you don't make dick anymore ever since the adpocalypse. Like,
Yeah, which was in like 2018 or some shit, right? Like that.
yeah,
That was a long time ago.
people don't make a lot of money. Although, like, there are some channels that do. Like, allegedly, I was watching Kino Casino the other day, and allegedly, the quartering makes $40,000 a month just on AdSense.
Allegedly.
And to think he's fucking broke. Like, he's so tapped out, he's like begging for people to buy his coffee. Think about that, Liar. Do you know what I could do with $40,000 a month? I would never work manual labor again, ever. $40,000 a month times 12. What is that? 300 grand a year? More than that.
What?
Jesus Christ.
No.
I'm retarded.
Times 12.
Yes, I'm retarded. It's a
That's
500.
480 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Half
I
a
made,
million a year.
If I made $480,000 a year, are you kidding me? And that's just in AdSense. He still does ad reads.
Yeah.
And he still gets like, and some people are buying his coffee, so it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's if 40,000. If Kino Casino is correct in the information that they have, $40,000 a month in AdSense. Jesus Christ. How is he still making it when like nobody else is? It's also insane how like everybody else gets demonetized for being even remotely right wing, but like for some reason quartering gets to keep his ad revenue. I mean, he plays the game. He doesn't. He never rocks the boat with the things he says.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Daily Wire's Mary Margaret Olahan, who was in attendance, said that people in the crowd included J.D. Vance.
Oh, Mary Margaret moved to the Daily Wire from Tim Pool, did she? Or is she still with Tim Pool, that kind of thing? Like half and half.
Wait, is Mary? Well, I mean, is Mary Margaret Olahan? Is that the same Mary Margaret from Tim Pool?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, I don't think Mary Margaret's an albino, but she fucking may as well be with that like hair and skin complexion.
Yeah. No, but I think it's her. Probably do a quick Google search.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's find out. No.
No? Oh, okay. It's not. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was her.
This is Mary
That is
Margaret
definitely not
Olahan.
her.
No, this is a ginger.
Yep. Yes. And as with tradition,
wood.
Oh,
100% wood. Anyway, people who were in attendance were J.D. Vance, obviously, because he would be there. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also would be there. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick.
Speaking of whom, before we move on, though, Rubio is doing a surprisingly amazing job, actually.
Yeah, he's doing better than I expected. I expected him to be a bit more swamp creaturey than I would have otherwise. But like, no, he's basically.
Yeah, I expected like actual dog shit, but no, he's just he's doing the project.
He's following orders, which I can't remember who said that, but somebody said that Marco Rubio is the type of guy who like obviously him and Trump in 2015 and 16 they butted heads, but like he's been a strong Trump ally pretty much ever since, and that kind of like Ted Cruz, if you just kind of throw him a bone, he'll do what he's told.
Yep.
Like again, Trump and Cruz also butted heads, and then Cruz became a strong Trump ally, and Trump actually considered Cruz for Supreme Court. Now, obviously, he didn't go to Supreme Court. He ended up picking Kavanaugh and Gorsuch and ACB, but you never know. Like Ted Cruz probably wouldn't have been a bad pick either for Supreme Court justice. But the idea is that like if you make Marco Rubio Secretary of State, you make you make Ted Cruz Supreme Court Justice. Are they ever going to be president? No, but it gives them a high enough position, strokes their ego, that they'll basically do whatever you tell them. But anyway, Howard Lutnick, who's the Commerce Secretary, and Kristi Noem was also there. Obviously, like these are all the people from the cabinet who would be there for a tariff meeting, and then a bunch of UAW workers. Wednesday's event marks a significant escalation in Trump's push for tariffs. Talk of a looming trade war has already intensified tensions with other countries, disrupted economies around the world, and raised fears of higher costs. However, ahead of Liberation Day, the United States notched some victories, with Israel announcing it would be removing all tariffs on U.S. products and Vietnam cutting duties on U.S. imports such as cars and liquefied natural gas. Quote, we're not going to let anyone tell us that American workers and families cannot have the future they deserve, Trump said. We're going to produce cars, ships, chips, airplanes, minerals, and medicines we need right here in America. Now, if we had a situation where Trump's got these tariffs, tries to basically kind of jumpstart American production again, get us building our own shit here in the United States, and then Vance comes in and eases off the tariffs because it's like, okay, we're making microchips in America. We can probably ease off, Taiwan tariffs on Taiwan. We're producing, where we've got our own cobalt mines again, so we can probably ease off of tariffs on countries that sell us cobalt, which I don't even think we have any cobalt here in the United States. But somebody can correct me on that, I'm sure. But if we did, well, we should probably be mining our own cobalt rather than buying cobalt from the Congo or wherever the fuck in Africa we buy cobalt, where they literally use
through China.
Yeah, where they literally use
through China.
Well, yeah, and through China, but
because China controls the fucking the mines anyway.
It's true, and again, they use literal children who get killed in the mines like all the time mining this cobalt.
Vosh's famous crash out.
Yes, yep. It's like, look, if you buy a PC made with cobalt that was mined with child slave labor, then you are no better than a guy who buys child pornography. Shut the fuck up, Vosh.
It's like, what an odd thing to say.
Yes. Bro, these aren't lollies, these are short stacks. Shut up.
Shut up, you fuck. Like, as someone who's watched anime longer than he's probably, well, no, he's older than me, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, point being, I've watched anime long enough to know the difference, and no, you just shut up, you fucking bearded socialist. Shut up.
Over the past couple months, Trump moved to implement other tariffs against China as well as Canada and Mexico, prompting them to plot retaliatory measures. He has also revived 25% tariffs on foreign cars set to begin at midnight. There's room for negotiation, as evidenced by Trump saying the previously announced tariffs against Canada, Mexico, and China would remain until they stem the flow of drugs and illegal immigration. And mid talks, there have been some pauses. See, the problem, a lot of people keep saying that, like, Canada and Mexico are willing to negotiate, but Trump isn't willing to negotiate. Like, how? Like, okay, so the current prime minister...
It's like, Trump put the God Emperor, put these in place with literal conditions written on the tin. It's like, okay, here's the things that we want to see action on. Let's fucking do it.
Well, yeah.
Like, how is that not willing to negotiate? Like, what the fuck?
The current Canadian Prime Minister, who I think Trudeau is finally gone, and the new guy stepped in. I can't remember his name. That might not be the case, but like, but then they got the general, and he's calling America, like, he's talking shit about America. Trudeau's talking shit about America, acting like neither one of them want to negotiate. Poilievre, who's probably going to win the next the Conservatives are probably going to win the next general election, and he's going to be the next prime minister, is also talking shit. He's not saying he's acting like he doesn't want to sit down and renegotiate things. Fucking the Mexican Jew down in Mexico, she's like trying
Feinbaum.
Yeah, she's trying to sue American gun manufacturers right now because we're planning on because we're talking openly and allegedly gearing up and planning to actually start using military against the cartels, and she's protecting them. So, and she's talking shit about America. It's like these our two neighbors, they're not acting like they want to.
They're not playing ball, bro. Yep. They're not playing ball in the slightest.
I think it's easy, though, for Polyev to talk tough now to try to, bolster his image at home, and then once he gets into office, maybe he softens his rhetoric and he sits down and, but like, I don't know. When it comes to Steinbaum, I think she's cartel compromised. I really do.
Well, considering that the election that she got elected in was Mexico's deadliest election in history, if I remember correctly.
I remember hearing that, but I didn't look too deep into it. But
like, I don't think it had anything to do with her actual election, but like the fact is that it had to do with like local elections, which
that election
it puts everything into suspect.
But no, it's just the way that, like, okay, the cartels aren't just bad for America and, like, human trafficking and fentanyl and all these things. They're bad for Mexico too. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm surprised that, like, a Mexican president isn't more anti-cartel. Like, there's the two reasons why. One, you're afraid they're going to kill you, and you know that they have spies in your office. Or two, you are compromised by them personally. It's the only two scenarios I can come up with why you would ever, like, defend the cartels, and that's effectively what she's doing.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. If I'm the Mexican president, I'm telling the U.S. president, listen, buddy. All right, I'll send troops from the north, or I'll send troops from the south. You send troops from the north. We'll pincer these assholes. We know, and that's the fucked up thing, because the CIA helped build a lot of these cartels. Let's be real here. We know where they all are. We know where they're headquartered. We know what kind of weapons they have. We know where their tunnels are.
We know who their leaders are.
Yes, we could. In a matter of days, we could have all these cartels destroyed, root and stem, their leaders captured or killed. It would take us like no effort whatsoever. Park an aircraft carrier in the Gulf of California and one in, well, I'm pretty sure we've already got a strike group in the Gulf of America at all times. But if we don't, that's retarded. But like,
park the 7th Fleet there.
Yeah, park
the 7th Fleet in the Gulf of California, and then park the is it the second or the 5th Fleet that's in the Atlantic? Whichever one. Yeah, the 7th Fleet is the one in the Pacific. Yeah, fucking just do that.
Yes, and just like and then just start drone striking like compounds. Like, I know you're gonna hit some innocent people, like their housekeepers and shit like that, and that's unfortunate. But casualties of war. It's unfortunate, and we are in war with these people. The cartels. We are at war.
Yeah, like those are, like, as callous as it is to say, like, those are the exact definition for collateral damage. They are collateral damage.
Look, I understand. She's just a housekeeper who's just working, but she knows who she's working for.
Mm-hmm.
She knows the danger she's putting herself in, like. And if like the walls are closing in, if you are a halfway decent person, you would gather up your entire innocent staff and just get the fuck out of here, please. I don't need you to cook my enchiladas for me anymore. Like, the Americans, the gringos are coming to kill us all. Like, get out of here.
Mm. Yeah, but they're cartel fucking leaders, so why would they be halfway decent people?
But yeah, I really do think that.
Have you ever heard of a cartel member who was a halfway decent person? I haven't.
No, not really. But no, I do think Steinbaum's compromised. I think she is.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
But anyway, speaking of tariffs, tariffs have affected now because we are tariffing Japan. That means that Japanese products are going to be more expensive, including the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Switch 2, the price is actually fucking reasonable. Like, the price for the Switch 2 is about what I expected it to be, but people are losing their fucking minds. Oh my god!
Yeah, well, guess who? Well, you know why? And this is conjecture on my part. But do you think you know what I think part of this is?
What's that?
What's the meme about what the user base of the Nintendo Switch is? Do you remember?
I mean, no, like, I can't think of a specific meme. Like, I imagine it's like, kind of like Disney adults.
Yes, and what are those kinds of people?
Lefties, a lot of them. Most of them.
Redditors.
Yeah, Redditors. Thank you. I was getting there. But like,
Yep. Yeah. No. So yeah, essentially. So I think a significant part of this, if not a major part of this, is just redditors fucking posting their shit online because they're perpetually online. Right?
yeah. Now, again, now the Switch 2 has a initial base price, and then it's probably going to get more expensive because of Trump's tariffs. So, but still, it's like the price is not at all beyond. I don't think it's beyond the pale for them to have asked what they're asking for. Like, how dare Nintendo? How dare they increase the price of their next generation console commensurate with the current state of the economy? How dare they try to turn a profit? People keep like accusing Nintendo of horrible corporate greed. I'm just like, okay, there's probably an element of greed to it, but do you know what's the production cost of a Nintendo Switch 2 versus how much they're going to sell it for? Like, do you know? How do you know it's greed? What if the profit margin on a single Switch 2 is only like 5%, 10%? Like, how much profit is a company allowed to make on a product before you stop calling them greedy? Like, where's the line at? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people are fucking pissed. Shout out to Game Rant. Fans have called out Nintendo's controversial pricing strategy for Switch 2 games, with some calling it a cash grab because they're going to be charging $80 for brand new games, which is unfortunate. But again, that's the trend seems to be it seems to be the trend where the entire industry is going. So they're just trying to keep up with industry trends, it seems. Now, could they undercut the entire market and say, look, listen, Sony and Microsoft are going to start charging you $70, $80, $90 for video games. Ours are still $60. They could, but would they make any money off that? If every single game they sell at a loss, does it matter if they corner the market? Probably not. During the Nintendo Direct, the company revealed a wealth of details about its next-gen console, the Switch 2. However, rather than celebrating the announcement, some fans are more concerned about Nintendo's approach to selling its next-gen games. April's Nintendo Direct was packed with exciting announcements, confirming dozens of anticipated and rumored games for the upcoming console, including Mario Kart World, which is an open-world Mario Kart game, so I'm actually looking forward to that. That sounds pretty dope. Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Raiders.
An open-world Mario Kart game?
Yeah, like I guess all the tracks are going to be on the map, and then you can drive between tracks, I reckon.
Huh. Okay. Well, we'll see how that works, huh?
Fans also got news on AAA third-party titles from renowned developers such as From Software's The Duskbloods, which, some From Software is going to make a Souls-like that's exclusive to the Switch 2. However, buried among these exciting reveals was a detail that has some fans worried about the future of Switch 2, the game's price tag, and now they're roasting Nintendo for its extortionate pricing. I don't think it's extortionate. $80. I mean, yes, is it high? Sure, but like, they're all moving in that direction, and we don't know. Again, we don't know the profit margin. Like, that's the thing I'm curious about. What's the profit margin? Like,
I'm curious what the meaning of extortionate here is. Like, what's their basis for calling it extortionate compared to what?
exactly. I have no idea. In a recent post, Redditor, of course, just like you said, Redditors, Quilicious, I don't know, mocked the Nintendo Switch 2's cost structure with a meme titled, Hype Levels Went from 500% to Zero. The meme highlights how fans, initially thrilled about the Nintendo Direct, were quickly disappointed upon learning that the Switch 2 games might cost $90. They're not. They're going to cost $79.99 starting. Some next-gen upgrades would require an additional fee, and even the console's tech demo won't be free. That's stupid, I admit, so just don't buy the tech demo. Do you need the tech demo? Probably not. Just don't buy it. Nintendo has seemingly raised the base price of Switch 2 games to $80 for digital versions and $90 for physical copies. Oh, okay, so that's where they get the 90. A significant jump from the 50 to 60 range of the Switch 1 titles. But the Switch 2 is also, here's the thing, the Switch 2 is also way more powerful than the Switch 1, like twice as powerful. So the games that are going to be made natively for the Switch 2 are going to cost
They're going to be heavier.
Yeah. They're going to cost more to make.
Yeah, they're going to be heavier, like in terms of, yeah. in all sorts of ways. Yeah. Just, I don't know what these people are expecting.
Yeah, neither do
Seriously.
I. Like the economy, this is the state of the economy across every market, not just video games. You're not being uniquely butt fucked by Nintendo. All right,
Mm.
cars are more expensive, food is more expensive, houses are more expensive. Like it is what it is. The company
Mm-hmm.
has also confirmed that the Switch 2 game upgrades will be sold separately, likely priced between $10 to $15, and that the Welcome Tour will be sold as a standalone game, despite being merely a tech demo for the Switch 2. While charging extra for next-gen upgrades has gradually become an industry standard, the additional costs for physical copies and paywall and console tutorials have been criticized by potential customers as outrageous. I tend to agree they probably could have got by with giving the tech demo away for free. They don't need to charge for a tech demo. Um,
Yeah, but ultimately, you're right. Like, why would you need a tech demo? Just don't get
yes.
it then.
And we're getting a GameCube Virtual Console, so that's going to be fun. Look, and it's coming with Super Mario Sunshine. Dope. Fans should note that Nintendo has yet to confirm a price hike for all Switch 2 titles, while pricing for first-party games such as Mario Kart World Kart Bonanza has been revealed. It remains unclear whether this will become the standard or if, like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild price increase, there will be a case-by-case adjustment. Regardless, thousands of fans have expressed frustration at the changes, and some even calling for a global boycott. Supporters of the boycott point to the Nintendo 3DS launch controversy, where disappointing initial sales forced the company to slash console's price from $250 to $170, a 32%
The
reduction.
3DS. They're pointing to the 3DS. How fucking long ago was the release of the 3DS?
And here's the thing: this article really didn't like cover it at all. But you know how much the Switch 2 is going to cost?
How much?
450 US. So in 20 whatever, I can't remember when the Switch came out. I think it was like
2019 or 2020, something like that.
well, it was definitely not 2020 because I had one in 2019, but it had been out for a while when I had one. But still, it
Okay.
was $300. So over the course of the last 7 years, the new version is only going to cost 150 more. Would I
Mm-hmm.
prefer it if prices never changed and everything was dirt cheap? Of course I would. Of course I would.
Literally everyone does. Like, what?
Yeah, and not
What
just
kind
with
of
video
question is
games, with
that, right?
everything. I wish I could still go buy a Ford Mustang for $5,000 like my uncle did when he was, 20 years old. I can't do that.
I wish we could go back to the times when I'm sure you remember, fucking candy was 10 cents.
Yo, it is what it is. And here's the thing: I'm gonna buy a Switch too. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a consumer, and I'm gonna buy the thing because
Okay.
$450 I don't think is a exorbitant price. I paid more than that for my PS5.
Yeah. Well, I bought my PS5 secondhand. Well, I bought both of my PS5 secondhand, and they're pretty good. So I didn't pay full price for them.
Yeah, well, I paid full price for mine, so not
I
a big
see.
deal. Mine also came with a
Yeah,
free
but yeah,
game, so
$450 is not. That's not a
no,
fucking life changing amount of money, man. Like,
no. And
fuck
like I
off.
said, it is commensurate with the increase in price across the entire industry.
Across the entire board, it's not just the industry. Like, I'm sitting here fucking whining about how how Hyundai's are costing about the same as Audis now.
Yeah, well, I mean, are you getting like regular Hyundai's, or are you getting like top shelf Hyundai's?
Yeah, like regular Hyundai's are about the cost of like regular Audis now. Like
So at
an
that,
Audi A3 is about the same as a Hyundai i30. I was like, what the fuck?
do you guys get Hyundai's trucks in Australia?
Oh, we're about to.
You see, because we don't get the trucks here in the United States. Now as with tariffs being what they are now, we're never going to get the trucks in the United States. But apparently, Hyundai's trucks that are pretty good. Like apparently, they're good trucks.
Yeah, we're getting. Well, we're not getting the Hyundai. We're getting the Kia.
Kia makes trucks.
But yeah, it's
I
called the
didn't.
Kia Tasman.
I did not know that.
Well, it's new. Like it's just coming out this year in Australia. So
Oh God, guess what I saw
so
the other day?
what?
I don't have anything pulled up for it. I'm not going to waste a ton of time, but I swear to God, I saw this and it blew my fucking mind. They're making a Corolla with a truck bed.
That's fucking retarded.
Toyota is
Why?
going to make a Corolla with a fucking with a bed.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Why?
Now, here's the thing: if it's all-wheel drive, and it's actually built like decently, like okay, like we're not. This
An
isn't just
all-wheel drive Corolla.
like this isn't just we're the only like if it was something like look, the Corolla is a classic Toyota badging name that we've been using since the fucking 70s, and
Mhm.
you can kind of do anything with it. Like, and this Corolla truck that we're rolling out is, the bed isn't. It's not going to be like the Subaru Baja. Like the bed's going to be like I don't know. I'm saying this is like if Toyota was trying to sell this to me. Like this isn't going to be like a useless like 3-foot bed like the Subaru Baja. Like it's going to be a decent sized bed. It's all wheel drive. It's going to have decent torque so you can actually haul shit. Like maybe, but at that point, like just release a
Why not
like
just get the Tundra? Or
yeah,
just
well,
release the Hilux in the US?
yeah. It's like I was literally about to say, just give us the Hilux. Like you could still sell Tundras and Tacomas here, but then also give us the Hilux.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do believe there is a desire. Like Americans want the Hilux. Like I believe that they would be a popular truck here. People would go, wait a minute, you're bringing the Hilux to the United States? Are you bringing the diesel Hilux to the United States? And a lot of
Because the
people would
diesel
go.
Hilux is fucking, yeah.
I
That
think
has a reputation.
I think a lot of people would go for it. I really do.
The 2.8 liter 4-cylinder diesel.
Yeah, like a YouTube channel that I watch called Man Talk. He's Romanian, and he was a big Ford guy. Like he
Mhm.
was like, and whenever his channel blew up, he kept talking about how like he kept making jokes about how he can't wait to buy a Ford Raptor.
Mhm.
He really wants the F-150 Raptor, which is I get it. The Raptor's badass. He wants the one with the 3.5 V6 twin turbo. Um,
Yep.
and I'm with him because but then you remember Ford did the Pride Raptor, the special edition Raptor that had the rainbow Pride flag all over it. So he said,
Mhm.
"Fuck that," and he bought the diesel Hilux instead. And then he showed it off on his YouTube channel. He said he's way happier with it.
Well, I just don't like Ford because their transmissions are garbage.
I haven't had a lick of trouble out of mine in my F-150, but maybe I'm
Well,
just lucky.
good for you, sir. Like without a hint of sarcasm. Like seriously, good for you. Because like if you ever come down here, I'll show you to my local Ford dealership. There is nothing but like the car park, the service car park is almost like a graveyard of nothing but F-150s, Rangers, and the Ford Everest, which is essentially a Ranger in an SUV body type, right?
Interesting.
Sitting there waiting for new transmissions.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ford's transmissions have always been like a problem. Like I had to have the
They
transmission
are
rebuilt in my Mustang, so I'm not immune to Ford's
when it
bad
comes
transmissions. I just got lucky with my
transmissions.
F-150.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So I have a
Besides the
question,
point.
Liar. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember the old meme and the thing that we've often joked about? Why are women?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Why are gays? Why are gays?
Is this the story I linked to you the other day
Yes,
about Oh God,
the guy
why?
from New Zealand. Why are gays? Like, listen, gays. I'm on your side more often than not, but like, I need to see more of a swell of outrage from your community about shit like this. This is the reason why the pendulum swings back so far. It's going to knock the shit out of all of you. Because shit like this happens. It happens way too often in your community, and then the rest of you stay fucking silent over it. Like, yes, you've got like, reasonable gays and like the LGB alliance and all this stuff, but like who occasionally call out this stuff, but I'm sorry, you're not doing enough. Like this isn't like Black Lives Matter stuff where it's not enough to be not racist, you have to be
The worst
anti-racist.
point about this is this cunt is a fucking MP.
Yeah.
He's an MP. He's
Yes.
a
For anyone who doesn't know, a New Zealand MP named Benjamin Doyle adopted a boy, and or is it an actual son? No, it's adopted. Yeah,
no, it's an adopted. Yeah.
it adopted a young boy, which again, I'm not necessary. I don't necessarily think that's automatically bad. Full stop, because there are hundreds of stories listed here in the
I'm
United States of gay men who have adopted kids who never molested them and were good parents. But
dude. I'm starting to think that like I'm starting to think that it might be.
But it's becoming a problem. It happens enough, though, is what I'm saying. It happens enough that it is a
Yeah,
concern. It's a genuine
yeah.
concern that maybe we need to address it by saying, like, listen, you might be a good gay guy who has absolutely no intention of ever harming a child, but we can't take that risk. It's like,
Not
look,
anymore.
if you
Yeah.
want to have kids, go find a female friend of yours and put a baby in her and just do it the old-fashioned way. Like, just,
Hmm.
I'm not saying you have to fuck her. Go to a fertility clinic and use the turkey baster method or something.
Yep.
But just
Yep.
if you really want to have kids, just do it that way. Like, IVF surrogacy, like the Dave Rubin thing of like buying eggs from one woman and planting them in another, the murkiness there. I get why people don't like that shit either, and I'm not necessarily advocating for that. I'm just saying, like, yes, you can find women, like I said, make a friend or someone is like, look, seriously, I really think the best thing that like gays could do if they want kids would be seriously to find like maybe a lesbian, because the gay man and his lesbian best friend, like that's a classic kind of like meme in gay world. Like seriously, the two of you don't have to fuck. You can go to fertility clinics and they can just you shoot it in a cup. They turkey baster, track the fucking ovulation cycle so you have the highest likelihood of getting it done. The two of you should legally get married. I'm not saying you need to I'm not saying, well, living together probably would be best, but like, I'm not saying you have to sleep in the same bed. I'm not saying you guys have to fuck, but like, go to the courthouse, get legally married so both of your rights are legally protected. Actually have biological children with each other. It gives you both something. It gives you a vested interest in the future. You're less likely to abuse because the child is biologically yours. Like, and nobody, even the Christians, like the Christians would probably, there's a lot of fundies would still like look at you crossways, like, what the fuck are you doing? But like the vast majority of like Christians in this country would go, so let me get this straight. You and your lesbian friend went and got legally married at the courthouse, and then you had a biological child, and now you're living together and trying to raise the child? Based. Good for you. Keep it up.
I
Thumbs up.
mean, they would probably still look at them crossways, but it's like better than the alternative.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But then we have situations like this. Look at this shit. Look at this. Bible Belt Bussy. If you don't know what bussy is, I know you do, but if you dear listener, if you don't know what bussy is, it's a meme term, boy pussy, which is in gay world, it's what like gay tops would refer to as their bottoms, their twinks, their butthole. You call it the boy pussy.
Or it's what the Hawks would call the chickens.
Yeah.
I hate how I know that term. God fucking damn it.
Liar has more experience in the gay world than he wants you to know. It's because of like dojins and shit like that. I know.
No, and I do have a lot of like gay friends, and
Yeah.
they're pain. It's also like just as an aside, these same gay friends going back to like 2015, 2016, were the ones complaining to me about being on Grindr and then ending up with like some FTM fucking tranny.
That's actually a meta that I heard about. Like it's like a hookup meta that's straight. Like I have gay friends that tell me that like there's a lot of straight men on Grindr now who are just looking to fuck FTMs.
Oh really? Damn. Okay.
Because the FTMs, the FTMs are DTF.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah.
And they're just
and it's
looking
like,
to get
okay.
laid, so.
But then it's like, this particular one gay man, right? Like the I call him uncle because he's so much older than me. But I'm sort of paraphrasing, but almost a direct quote, right? When he stumbled upon one of these FTMs, he's like, "Dude, why the fuck are we here? I'm here for dick. You don't have one." I just started losing my shit laughing.
I have a gay friend who told me literally the exact same thing. He hates getting on Grindr and seeing a bunch of FTMs because, like, I don't want you. You have a vagina.
Yeah, it's just like this is such a ridiculous fucking conversation. Why are we even having it?
But yeah, here he is with the kid sitting on his lap, and he says, "Bussy galore."
Way to ruin my fucking dinner, bro. Jesus Christ.
He's not just a PM. He is the minister for children.
Yeah, I know. It's so bad. Like, what? What? Like this is like a caricature of everything. Like, how does this guy have access to kids, let alone be the minister to fucking, child development and child safety and shit?
I already opened up this one, but here he's kissing the boy.
Yep.
New Zealand, you need to get your shit together. Like, New Zealand used to be based. You guys used to have more guns than, like, per capita than we did at one point. Like, you had, like, more guns. You had, like, more gun-owning homes. You had, like, more guns.
Oh,
like,
no. New Zealand was never based. In terms of guns, yeah, sure. But keep in mind that New Zealand also had the most... they had the most feminist approach to everything. New Zealand women are the most promiscuous per capita as well.
Based. No, not based. I
They're
know.
just they're just degenerates over there. I mean, personal history notwithstanding. Yeah,
So,
like
yeah.
that entire country is just fucked.
So, yeah, no, seriously. I just, like, think about, like, put yourself in this position. You already know that, like, it's really hard for your community to adopt. Even whenever you do what the Rubens did and you have your own biological children, granted he did it in the surrogate IVF route, but still, even when you have your own biological children, people still question your motives, right? And then you pull something like this, and do you really think you're helping your fellow gays by doing shit like this? No. You're making more reasonable people like Liar and me go, no, no more adopting kids for any of you. Sorry, not sorry. If you better policed your own community, we probably could have had a conversation, but now, so, like, assholes ruined it for all of you. Like, I don't know. You linked me this a few days ago, and it just, like, bothered the shit out of me.
Well, isn't like this just builds onto the fact that like there was that you remember, I think it was like Georgia or something. Like there was that Georgian gay couple that adopted like two or three boys and then proceeded to make like child porn out of those kids.
I remember that story. Yeah, that was rough.
It's just like, bro, what?
Well, and here's the other thing. The other question I have to ask the gays who, like, why do you even want kids? Like, I get it. There's the human drive to reproduce. But that's the drive to have your own biological children. Why do you insist on adopting kids that have no relation to you? Like, I get why heterosexual couples would want to do it, because, like, there's numerous reasons they can't, or they just want to help. And again, like, abuse happens in those homes too. If the idea is to stop abuse, you would stop all adoption. But the odds of abuse from gay adoption is so much higher. Like, it's the whole thing is just bad. Like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of any of it. We need to, like, well, I don't know what we need to do, but this shit has got to stop. It's got to stop.
That pie chart still haunts me to this day.
Which pie chart?
Remember the pie chart that was put out either by Reddit or The Onion or something back in 2012? What happens when gay marriage is legalized?
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
What happens when gay marriage is legalized? World War III is going to start. A famine is going to happen. A worldwide virus is going to explode. Like, it's like, huh.
Yeah, that was The Onion. Yeah. Well, at the time, I agreed. I was like, okay, we're going to let gays get married. It's not like it's literally not going to be the end of the world. And then, like, well, shit. Now, to be fair, us allowing gays to get married didn't cause like, like Iran to get involved in Israel, Gaza, or didn't cause like Putin to invade, Russia to invade Ukraine. But like, which if anything, but still, it's funny that like gay marriage gets legalized in 2015 with a Obergefell, and then the next decade is just like a downward fucking
literally
spiral.
Everything. Yeah, all of those things that was listed.
Yeah, they all came to pass.
Yep. And like the one that was the most prescient was the one where they were like, oh, they're going to start teaching gay sex in schools. And it's like, oh, that is actually a direct result of gay marriage being legalized.
That is. Unfortunately, I agree that is. Like, Obergefell's bad law, period. Now, at the time, I was like super hyped for it because I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Christian chuds. But like, now that I just from a purely like legal perspective, Obergefell's bad law. But like, same thing with Roe v. Wade. Like, it's like even if you're pro-choice. Like Roe v. Wade's just bad law. So but like there was all these downward effects, and you started to see the cracks almost immediately because it was we get gay marriage legal, and I thought that was it. I was like, we won. The war is over. You have all the rights now. The war is over. Let's go about our business in peace. And then within a year, it was bake the cake, bigot. I'm like, wait a minute, guys, this is not what I signed up for. Like, look, I'm not a fan. Again, I was way more of a douchey atheist back in 2015, but it was like, I get it. The Christ cuck's not a fan, but this is still America. They don't have to make you cakes if they don't want to. You can make fun of them. You can ridicule them. You can call them retarded Christ cucks all you want to. But you can't legally force them to bake cakes for you. But they're all like, oh, yes, we can. I'm like, guys. Then when they started suing churches to officiate their weddings, like fuck off. No.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like you can't,
where did that come from?
You can't
right?
you can't force a church. There are churches that will officiate your wedding. There are cucked Protestant churches. But no, I'm Catholic and I'm gonna force my local parent. No, fuck off. No, this is not what I signed up for. I did not sign up for this. I signed up to help you guys get equal rights under the 14th Amendment. I didn't sign up for you to sue churches to force them to officiate your gay wedding. Why do you even want to get married in the church anyway? You're gay. The Bible the Bible's pretty explicit about the gay question.
It's all a power play. That's all it is.
No, it is. It is.
Gays, it's a power play.
Get your shit together.
Like it's the whole thing with pride, right? Like, you must not only must you accept me, you must
celebrate me. Tolerance and acceptance are not enough. I require encouragement and celebration. And it's, yeah. So, California is retarded.
You didn't need to. Okay. Where's this going? What flavor of retardation is it now?
Latest proposed California ballot
for fuck's sake! Yeah, I saw this. This is just blasphemy. Look at it.
Yeah, I can't. The actual photo this is taken from, I can't find it down here because it's not. But like, yeah, there are people who are depicting him as a saint.
No, that's just him depicted as the Sacred Heart of Jesus, bro. Like, fuck.
Oh well, that's even worse. I thought that was somebody had just put his head on the body of just a saint. I didn't realize that was Jesus.
Yeah,
but now Jesus. I see the sun rays behind his head. So yeah, okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, well, that shows you how not Catholic I am. Heyo. But yeah, the latest proposed California ballot measure is named at. Like, listen, like even if let's say you grant a little bit of the argument for them, just to try to like get them to the table, kind of like a debate tactic. You grant them a couple things. Listen. Yes, the insurance companies being in bed with the government is really bad. Healthcare in this country is too expensive. There are too many people who are in a lot of pain and are suffering unnecessarily. I'm with you on all that. But does that justify Luigi Mangione just blowing the head off of a guy in broad fucking day? Well, he did it at night, but you know what I mean, in broad daylight. In the streets of New York.
In public.
And then in front of God and everyone, and then on top of that, does that then taking a murderer, a dude on video committing a murder, that's why I'm not saying allegedly, because he's on fucking video doing it, and when they caught him, he had the gun and his manifesto in his fucking backpack, like, Luigi Mangione did it, period. His lawyer isn't even denying that he did it. That's the funny thing. Well, I mean, they are denying because he's not guilty, but if you look up quotes from his lawyer, she barely ever tries to talk about how he's innocent, he didn't do it. Like, it's she talks more about the healthcare system and trying to paint like the CEO as like the real evil here. It's absolutely pathetic. But like, why would you like associate like these things with him of all people? He's a cold-blooded killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Alleged United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione could be immortalized in California law even if Trump sends him to the electric chair, as a ballot effort is underway to create an insurance measure called the Luigi Mangione Access to Healthcare Act. It's no secret that accused United Healthcare CEO killer Luigi Mangione is something of a cult hero, and to many. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you've seen this, but now lefties, whenever they protest, a lot of them are wearing Luigi hats, like Luigi's hat from the Mario franchise.
Oh yeah.
It's a reference to him, to Luigi Mangione. So they wear like Luigi hats. It's a dog. I hate to use
It's a
this
fucking
term.
insult.
Well, I hate to use this term because the left ruined it, but it actually is a dog whistle. Like if you go to like a lefty event, you see a bunch of people seemingly just, why are they wearing Luigi from Mario hats? It's because they're dog
Right.
whistling, saying, "I support Luigi Mangione. We should kill people." It is a low-key call to violence, in my opinion. And to many, even a heartthrob. Yeah, because a lot of people think he's handsome. NBC News reported this week that there were heart-shaped love letters to Mangione smuggled in with his socks and the clothes his attorney provided him to wear for his court appearances. So allegedly, his lawyer is getting love letters and shit and giving them to him in court. In the latest bit of Mangione Mania, a group of Los Angeles-based activists is hoping to start collecting signatures to place a ballot measure in a future statewide California election inspired by Mangione. It's a measure to rein in the health insurance industry and would make it illegal for anyone other than a doctor to deny medication or medical procedures to a patient. As KRON4 reports, the name of the measure is the Luigi Mangione Access to Healthcare Act. To be fair, this is likely a publicity stunt. The initiative submission to the California Attorney General's office even misspells Luigi Mangione's name as Luigi. Oh, they changed one letter. So they may not have dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's. Either way, a measure to make it illegal for insurance companies to delay, deny, or modify any medical procedure or medication and leave that right only to a licensed physician may prove popular enough. And even if it gets enough signatures to qualify for the ballot, the state attorney general's office has final say on what ballot measures are called, so it seems unlikely the name Luigi Mangione Access to Healthcare Act would survive. So, again, it's probably a publicity stunt. I actually agree with that, but I also don't think necessarily that they don't intend, like that sounds like something they're actually trying to achieve. So that insurance companies cannot be the ones to deny you healthcare, that your doctor has to do it. But I mean, the doctor would never deny you health care because they would get paid by the insurance companies. So, like, I don't think like that doesn't really help anything. All that's going to do is just drive up costs more. Because one of the reasons why healthcare in this country is so expensive is because of insurance. Because doctors don't have to advertise their pricing, they don't really have to compete with each other, and they can charge the highest possible amount for a procedure because they know the insurance will pay it.
We'll cover it. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you like. There's no transparency in pricing.
Which Gary Johnson, that was one of the things that he campaigned on back in 2012 and 2015 was requiring doctors to advertise pricing and to essentially force them to compete with each other. Which I actually think is a good idea. I think advertised pricing is probably a good idea. For the medical industry, but that would have to come after we kind of decoupled insurance, the big insurance companies from the government. It's a big incestuous kind of like gross human centipede monster.
Yeah.
Moreover, the activists cannot even collect signatures on the measure yet. While the request has been submitted, like all citizen-crafted ballot proposals, it's under a 30-day public comment period, which in this case would last until April 25th. The Attorney General's office would then craft the actual language of the measure before supporters would even be able to begin collecting signatures to get it on the ballot. So, of course, it could end up not even being anything like the bill they proposed. obviously, anti-California conservatives are already in a huff over this. You can tell that this San Francisco website is not a fan of right-wingers. Furious that anyone would celebrate an accused murderer, though these same anti-California conservatives have celebrated Kyle Rittenhouse by asking him to testify before state legislatures, and celebrated Daniel Penny by giving him a job at Anderson Horowitz. The problem is that Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself, and Daniel Penny defended other people and did not intend to kill the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi Mangione shot a man in the head. Like fucking, just like Gary Plauché style. Like, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing unintentional about the fact of what he did.
Yeah, dude was just walking down the sidewalk and boom, gets shot by Luigi Mangione. Like, if the people at Kenosha had not attacked Kyle Rittenhouse, he would not have shot them. If the Michael Jackson impersonator had not been stomping around the train car threatening to stab people and trying to get people to give him money, Daniel Penny would not have had to put him in a chokehold and he wouldn't have died. Like, there is a difference. One was defending himself, the other was defending other people. Who was Luigi Mangione defending? Allegedly, Luigi Mangione wasn't even doing, like, he probably did have political aspirations, but he himself was a victim of this. He was in chronic pain, allegedly, because of some injury he sustained, some back injury, that never got properly treated because his insurance wouldn't cover it. So it's purely selfish. It's purely selfish. He was doing it for his own sake.
Yep.
And also, and it didn't change anything. Like, United Healthcare just carried on. They elected a new CEO, and literally it accomplished nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Absolutely nothing. So, I don't know.
The fact that they're treating him like some kind of saint is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. It is. It's not good. You know, you know what else is not good?
Huh?
Hamas. Hamas is not good. Hamas is so not good that Hamas is, killing its own people for protesting against them. And you know who's silent about this? The pro-Palestine activists here in the United States. They don't got shit to say.
Of course they are.
So, October 7th happens. Pro-Palestine people don't say a fucking word. I'm sorry, they did say words. They said literally that it didn't happen, or that it did happen, but it was the IDF pretending to be Hamas.
Of course.
Except, here's the thing, and we covered this. Hamas recorded themselves as they did this shit. They posted it to social media themselves, and they bragged about it. You and I watched the video of the fucking Asian guy. I can't remember what kind of Asian he was. He was Thai. Yeah. Of that Thai guy getting his head chopped off with a garden hoe while Arabs were screaming Allahu Akbar around him. Like, they posted this video to Twitter themselves.
Yep.
They don't even deny that they did this shit, but they're completely silent whenever, when the Bebas children died, they say the IDF killed them. Like, it's just the silence is deafening here. But yeah, shout out to the Daily Caller. Palestinian activists largely silent after Hamas reportedly tortures and kills protesters in Gaza. Interesting, huh? Shit like this. Look, we disagreed about this early on in the conflict. I actually said, probably within like a month of October 7th, I said we could probably stop the carpet bombing because it's a bad look. You're killing too many civilians. You should probably just roll in tanks, boots on the ground. That'll have its own problems, but it's better than carpet bombing. Israel has conducted themselves in a way that they've kind of, I don't want to say asked for the criticism, but they've kind of made it easy for them to be criticized. But, like, shit, I don't even remember.
What else can you really ask for?
Well, I don't even remember where I was going with that. But, like, the point is that, like, Israel does anything in this conflict, and they're Satan.
Yeah, they get criticized, yeah. So what's the point?
So, yeah, but that was what I was. So even I'm willing to criticize Israel here, but, like, that side is not at all and I'm on the pro-Israel side, but, like, that side is not at all willing to criticize anything Hamas does, ever. Like whenever fucking Islamic Jihad fired the missile that landed in the parking lot of the fucking of the hospital, and even Al Jazeera was like, "Ugh, guys, no, this was us." Like, oops.
It is a
Like,
bad look, yeah.
yeah, even they were all like, "Guys, no, IDF didn't do this. This was Islamic Jihad. It was a bad missile." And even then, people still to this day claim Israel blew up that hospital. That hospital's still standing. Like, no, that hospital is still up. Like, come on. But pro-Palestinian activists and organizations have been largely silent after Hamas reportedly tortured Uday al-Rabai, a 22-year-old Palestinian who was protesting Hamas rule in the Gaza Strip, to death. He was tortured to death, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The terrorist organization deposited the lifeless body of al-Rabai, I don't know how you'd say that, in front of his family's door
Where?
as a
What's his name?
uh,
Al Rabi. Yeah.
yeah, Uday al-Rabai, yeah. In front
Yep.
of his family's door as a warning to others, the Telegraph reported, citing high-ranking Palestinian police officer Mazan Shat. uh, oh, man, he shat the bed
Was
for
on
this one.
shot. He's shot in that one.
Hamas beat Rabai for 4 hours, the Fatah-affiliated official from Ramallah told the outlet. Fatah is Hamas's rival in the Palestinian territories. Uday was martyred by the criminals of Hamas, Shat said. And what's his crime? He told the truth because he refused to be silent on injustices, because he did not kneel to Hamas. The dead protester's swollen corpse reportedly showed open wounds and bruising. Hamas is oppressing people in a brutal way, Shat said. Like a puppy on a rope around his neck, they dragged him to the door of his house and told his family that this is the punishment for those who complain about Hamas. Hamas's military wing, Al-Qassam Brigades, or the Al-Qassam Brigade, seized Rabai last Friday, his brother Hassan told CNN. A number of
Well,
pro-Palestinian...
his brother's even named the son.
Yes, Hassan al-Rabai. A number of pro-Palestinian activists and organizations have been silent on Rabai's death. The Palestine Solidarity Campaign, a UK-based pro-Palestine organization, appears to not have addressed the issue. Pro-Palestinian accounts on X, including Syrian Girl and Kneecap, have also avoided the issue. Multiple international officials working for organizations focused on Palestine have also seemingly failed to address Rabai's death. Francesca Albanese, UN Special Reporter on
Francesca Albanese,
Yeah.
I think his name is.
UN Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territory, and Philippe or Philippe, I don't know, whatever. Lazzarini, the Commissioner General of the United Nations Relief and Workers
Philippe
Agency.
Lazzarini.
Yeah.
Philippe. Yeah. Spelled such way. Yeah.
Have yet to post about the reported killing or Hamas's apparent crackdown on protesters on their X accounts. The Independent Commission for Human Rights, the ICHR, a Palestinian human rights institution, did confirm the young man's death and demand an independent investigation into the matter. Of course they did. The family stated that he bore severe signs of torture, was restrained by his neck and hands, and suffered from deep wounds, multiple burns, internal bleeding, severe neurological and circulatory shock, a ruptured heart nerve, and fractures in his skull, pelvis, and back.
Ruptured heart nerve.
Yeah, I don't. That's probably
How do you even manage to do
that's
that?
probably a mistranslation, because I'm sure they said this in Arabic. That's what Palestinians speak, right? They speak Arabic, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, of course, but they're not Arabs, dog. They're not Arabs. No, they're just Egyptians and Jordanians and Syrians, and they speak Arabic. And you could literally trace the time in history in which they flooded into the Levant, but they're not Arabs. No.
No, they're not.
Rare demonstrations. Now, if you ask other Arabs outside of Palestine if they're Arabs, they'll say no. But that's because they don't want them.
Yep.
Egypt over there all like, we'll take no Palestinians. No, no, Habibi, no. It's like, why, Egypt, why won't you help your Muslim brothers? It's like, because they blow shit up.
I mean, look at what happened to Jordan.
Rare demonstrations against Hamas rule in the Gaza Strip broke out on March 25th with hundreds of Gazans took to the streets in the largest demonstrations against the terrorist organization yet, according to multiple reports. Quote, "We refuse to die for anyone, for any party's agenda or the interests of foreign states," one protester said. "Hamas must step down and listen to the voices of the grieving, the voices that rises from beneath the rubble. It is the most truthful voice." Now, like, it's easy, like, hopefully let's go ahead and say it's easy for us to lift up these people who are protesting now that Gaza has been basically leveled. It's easy, it's like where was this energy before October 7th? You know what I mean? Why did it have to come to this for you people to speak up? And generally speaking, it's when things become extreme like this that people find the intestinal fortitude to finally do something. These are probably people who have never been fans of Hamas rule, because
Yep.
famously,
Because
there
they're
hasn't
just
been
waiting for.
there
There
hasn't
hasn't been
been
an election since 2006.
Yeah, like some people think that was Sharon's biggest mistake was just going, fine, Gaza's
Falling out of
yours,
Gaza.
do what you want, because of them, or because of that, immediately, not immediately, but because of that. Hamas, if Hamas had just won the election, that would be one thing. They won the election and then immediately murdered all of their opposition. And that's why it's been 20 years since the last election, is because one, they won't hold any, and two, they killed everyone who would stand against them. And I mean, how bad is it that the leader of your country, whatever you want to call your territory, whatever you want to call Gaza, doesn't even live there? He lives in Qatar. Well, he's dead now, but you know what I mean. Famously, he lived his life, he siphoned a bunch of foreign aid money and lived in a Qatari high-rise, penthouse. I can't remember the dude's name, but you know what I'm talking about. He was the leader of Hamas. And he was killed last year, so, based. Protesters appeared to call out media bias in footage. Quote, no to Al Jazeera. The people are the truth. Now, that is probably the most base thing I've heard any Gazan say. No to Al Jazeera. Based.
Well, it's about time.
According to Real Clear News, citing a video from a self-described Palestinian human rights activist named Hamza. Okay, so yeah, there. But so meanwhile, in other Palestinian news, Takia rears its ugly head once again,
as always,
because it seems to be that Hamas, lied about the number of deaths that occurred as a result of the IDF bombing.
What a surprise!
They have allegedly deleted thousands of people from their death toll list, including over 1,000 children. Now, look, if 50,000 people...
What's the word? What's the saying again? Well, imagine my shock.
Imagine my shock. And then you do the pouty lips because it's Paul Joseph Watson.
Yes.
But, now, look.
Well, he is of what? Scottish descent? English? Whatever the fuck?
He's English.
Oh, okay.
No, but what I'm saying, what I was saying is that, look, I'm willing to concede that there probably is upwards of 20,000 deaths. Do I think it's 50,000 deaths? No. But is it...
Probably not.
Is it 20,000? Maybe. But I don't know, because Hamas lies constantly about the number of people that actually died. I mean, shit, they blow shit up themselves and then lie about it, and then they get caught. Like we were just talking about, fucking even Al Jazeera had to come right out and say, no, the Al Shaif hospital did not get blown up by the IDF. It's not even blown up. It was the parking lot, and it was a missile launched by Islamic Jihad. Like, come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Hamas quietly removed thousands of names from its official casualty reports in Gaza, prompting fresh scrutiny of the accuracy of the death toll figures that have been widely cited by media and international organizations since the start of the Palestinian terrorist group's war with Israel. An analysis conducted by Salo Eisenberg, oh, that sounds very tribal, of the U.S.-based nonprofit Honest Reporting and first reported by The Telegraph, revealed that 3,400 individuals listed as killed in earlier updates released by the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health in August and October 2024 no longer appear in the March 2025 report. Among those missing from the latest list are 1,080 children.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Quote, Hamas has manipulated the number of fatalities they report since the start of the war, over-counting civilian deaths and concealing combat losses. Also, I would like to know how many of those deaths were caused by they themselves. Not only people that they summarily executed on their own or that they killed, to the Pallywood meme of them, killing people and then making it look like Israel did it. Like, we're never going to get an answer to that, but I would like to know. Inquiring minds, as it were.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
I took all the unique deaths and ID numbers from the August and October lists. I combined them. I removed duplicates, then compared it to the March list, and there were 3,400 names that didn't appear. He said, "In my mind, the 1,080 children are particularly notable." Here's the other question: how many of these people just don't even exist? Like that's the thing. It's one thing to claim all these people are dead, but they're still alive. It would be much easier to just make up a bunch of names.
Make up names, yeah.
Eisenberg said the systematic inflation of civilian death tolls by Hamas is not a new phenomenon. Quote, they have done this in every round of conflict. For example, 2009's Kasserlied, Hamas initially claimed that 1,300 Palestinians died and only about 50 were combatants. Months later, Hamas admitted that in fact 600 to 700 were fighters. So fully half of the people that died were soldiers. The casualty list,
which is to be expected because they're literally at war,
and it's tiny. It's like the size of like a county in Texas. So there's not a ton of space. So yeah, civilian casualties are going to be much higher in a place like Gaza, unfortunately. The casualty list compiled by the Gaza Ministry of Health are distributed as downloadable PDFs and include personal details such as names, identification numbers, and dates of death. These lists have been widely cited by international media and relied upon by humanitarian groups and United Nations agencies monitoring the toll of the war. The health ministry is under control of Hamas, which governs the Gaza Strip. So, there's a lot of libertarians who are super anti-Israel for reasons I can be sympathetic to. They are, they do exercise a lot of state power, all these things. Israel is by no stretch of the imagination a libertarian paradise. I understand. But, there are people like Scott Horton, for instance, who I respect, and I like Scott Horton. But, he will just unironically quote, without a hint of scrutiny, he'll just quote Hamas Ministry of Health. Just spout their numbers like it's gospel. Now, I've over the course of this conflict, I've actually ended up unfollowing a lot of people because they won't shut the fuck up about this stuff, and I get tired of hearing it. But also because a lot of them have kind of gone mask off and just said, no, it's not Israel, it's not Zionists, I don't like Jews, period, full stop. But Scott Horton hasn't done that yet, which is one of the reasons why I still follow him, is I vehemently disagree with him on the matter of this conflict. But, I've never once heard him just say the Jews. He always is very specific. IDF, Israel, Zionists. Now, to be fair, almost every Jew on the earth is a Zionist to some degree. But he's he keeps his criticisms targeted at the right people, which even when I disagree with him, I'm just like, okay, fine. He's not fully Jew-pilled yet. He's not like other people I see on X who literally just go mask off and say, no, just kill all Jews, glass Israel. Just straight up Jew pill people. Useful idiots for Muslims, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it.
This conflict makes people retarded. I don't get it. I'm not like I said, I'm not this super. We called out the cabal of American Jews in the music industry and in the banking industry that tried to destroy Kanye West after he had his little meltdown. So we're not above criticizing bad Jews when they do bad things, but and we even make jokes all the time. I was just talking about this Eisenberg guy about how tribal his name is because it's a funny meme. Just be like, oh look, another Jew. Like,
Yep.
they're everywhere. Like, the happy merchant
Like, every time you
rubbing
run
his
into a
hands
big
together.
story, it's like every time you run into a big story, it's like it's not far until you run into like a Berg or a Stein or a.
Yeah, but then you have people like Candace Owens and Ian Carroll and Jake Shields and like all these people with huge platforms who just say the Jews, period, full stop. The Jews are lying about this. The Jews lie about everything. Like Candace Owens constantly talks about how like she literally says the Jews invented porn to destroy Christendom. Like, like I've heard her say this twice. Once with Tristan Tate, and then again with Nick Cannon. Like,
It's like, dude, give me a break, man. Like, but we have pornographic hieroglyphics for fuck's sake.
well, here's the funny thing.
I
So
mean,
you know,
what?
so here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. This is the thing nobody ever wants to talk about. Okay, so Pornhub, the CEO of Pornhub currently, with Pornhub, I can't remember the name of the corporation that it is now, the entity that owns Pornhub. But Pornhub, their current CEO is a Jew. Like, I'm not going to deny that. The dude's Jewish as fuck. But the thing nobody wants to talk about with Pornhub is that, Pornhub was only sold in 2017. So it's been 8 years since it was sold. That guy hasn't been in charge of it the entire time. But nobody ever wants to talk about who actually founded Pornhub and ran it for over a decade. It was two Syrian Muslims who were living in Canada.
Whoa, really?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Let me be more specific here. It was 4 guys. 2 of them were Syrian Muslims. I can't remember if they were born in Canada or if they were immigrants. I can't remember the full details, but either they are ethnically Syrian and they're both Muslims. And then the other 2 guys who were the founders were 2 Canadian nationals, both of them Gentiles. So the biggest pornography site in the world was founded by 2 Muslims, 2 Syrian Muslims, and 2 white Canadians. None of them Jews. It's just interesting,
Huh.
So it's like, yes, the Jews didn't invent porn. The Jews didn't invent lying. The Jews didn't invent interest, usury, as people like to call it. Like, it's just easy to blame the Jews for every goddamn thing. But nobody ever wants to talk about Islam. Well, lots of people talk about Islam. Let me be fair, but not nearly as much. Like, it's just like shit like this comes out. Shit like this. Like, they're literally lying about the death toll. Nobody wants to talk about it though. Let me just skip ahead here. Hamas has claimed that more than 50,000 people have been killed in Gaza since the war began in October 2023. The IDF has said it has killed 20,000 Hamas combatants during the time and maintains that it takes extensive precautions to avoid civilian casualties. That's true, by the way. Like, people don't talk about that. They do send out, like, they say that Gaza has been completely cut off from the cell network. No, it hasn't, because the IDF uses a cell network to warn people of bombing runs. They still do roof knocking. Like, they take measures to try to get civilians. And, again, Hamas uses human shields. They stop people from fleeing areas so that whenever the IDF blows something up, civilians die and they can use it for propaganda. This is not a secret. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is literally what they do. This has been confirmed.
Also, they're proud of it.
Yes.
Like, they fucking put this shit on video. They release these videos themselves. Like, it's not like this is some kind of fucking secret that,
The IDF, quote, the IDF has never and will never deliberately target children, the IDF said in a statement. Now, of course, they would say that. But then, you heard stories like the IDF sniper who was killing, like, Orthodox nuns, and just shooting people, like, just willy-nilly, but then that was never corroborated. That was never proven to be true. They talk about IDF soldiers are raping women in Gaza. I've never seen a shred of evidence to confirm that's happening. Nothing. Nothing
apart from, like, Palestinian organizations that are incentivized to make that up. Now, obviously, I'm not saying it's made up, right? Everything can happen in the fog of war.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But, like, my main thing is that, where's the corroboration?
Yeah,
right?
That's all I want. I will concede. Listen, I will concede that there probably has been a rape or two by some Israeli cunt who thinks, fuck this Muslim whore, and does something horrible to her. That dude deserves to be punished. But I need to know that it actually happened. And then I will concede that point to you. I'm happy to concede that point to you. Rape is bad. Rape as a weapon of war is really, really, really bad. Turns
Is
out,
it really though?
turns out though that Arabs are known for doing that. You
Yeah, it's
famously
kind of
got,
like a historical thing for them.
yeah, you famously got in trouble in college for writing an essay
Ah,
about this.
yes. Yep. And well, I mean, there's another very famous example of this. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. What?
Yeah. The Dracul brothers.
I am unfamiliar with that name. I feel like I should.
Remember what one of them is called? There's Vlad Dracula
Oh
and
yes.
Radu
Oh
Dracula. What's
yes.
Radu
Yeah.
called again?
Radu the Handsome.
And yeah, handsome did not mean like the way we meant it, the way we mean it today. They did not
Yes.
mean it that way back then.
Yes, and then traditionally impaling was done by going through the lower back and up out the shoulder blade. But whenever Vlad started doing it, he started doing it through the butthole. Why would he do that? Also,
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
also, generally speaking, leaders liked to delegate a lot of stuff, but no, he personally impaled. What's the estimate? Like 10,000 people were personally impaled by him.
No, more than that. It's a whole army of Turks. So about 20,000, so between 10 to 20,000 Turks, and a lot more people.
Well, no. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people, period, but I was saying no, him personally. Like he personally did the impaling himself, not like oversaw
Oh,
it
good
or
fucking
delegated.
question. Like no one knows what the real number is.
Yeah, no, but I've heard it's been estimated that I said 10,000 a minute ago, but like thousands of
I
impalings
wouldn't be surprised.
that
Would not be surprised.
That Vlad didn't delegate. He literally did the
Did it himself.
carried out
Yep.
the punishment himself. Like he was very unhappy with the Turks. And it could just be that he was a Wallachian patriot. He wanted his kingdom back and he wanted to get out from under the yoke of Turkish rule. But also, I tend to agree that Mehmet and his father probably did some bad things to him when him and his brother when they were kids.
Yeah. Yeah. If you looked at depictions and descriptions of Radu the handsome, he was it's not flattering. It's not flattering. Like especially when he's around, yeah, like Turks and shit. Yeah, it's not flattering at all.
But according to a December report authored by Fox and published by Henry Jackson Society. Fox who? I missed that name. Andrew Fox. Okay, there it is. Quote, the evidence is now all out there in the public domain. Andrew Fox, a former British paratrooper who was working with Eisenberg on data verification projects in the past, told the Allgemeiner, quote, these Hamas numbers are error-strewn and clearly manipulated. Eisenberg built databases by converting the PDF files into spreadsheets, allowing for comparative analysis across different time points. That process revealed the March 2025 reports inconsistencies with thousands of names removed that were supposedly confirmed in prior lists. The findings cast doubt on previously unchallenged casualty estimates. Hamas has claimed more than... I already read that part because I skipped ahead to that. The Israeli Defense Force said it has killed 20,000 Hamas combatants during the time and maintains it takes extensive precautions to avoid civilian casualties. I already read that. Here it is. Sorry. I'm back to where I left off at. According to a December report authored by Fox and published by Henry Jackson Society, nearly half of those killed in Gaza are combatants, directly contradicting claims that the vast majority of casualties are civilians. The report also pointed to a demographic inconsistencies, including the repeating listing of women and children to support allegations of indiscriminate attacks, and the lowering of adult men's ages to inflate the number of minors reportedly killed. Quote, you can't say it's genocide when half the people that have died are combatants who are still fighting, Fox told the Allgemeiner at the time. Also, despite making up only 30, I'm just kidding. No, despite let's go ahead and highball it and say 50,000 people, soldiers, civilians, have actually died. The last report that I saw for, I believe it was for 2024, had the overall Palestinian population in Gaza actually went up. Worst genocide in history.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's concurrent with what I've seen as well.
Worst
It's like,
genocide in
oh,
history. You only killed 50,000 people, but the overall population of the country went up. There were more babies born than in 2023 and 24 than you killed in the war. Like, fuck off. Like, if I've been saying this since the beginning, if Israel wanted to genocide these people, there would be no Gaza, and they could do it in a week.
a week,
I'm
30 minutes.
sure, but I'm being reasonable. Like, sure, they could probably do it in 30
Happy
minutes.
glass car
Car
park.
park. Yes, but like, look, I don't think it would behoove the Israelis to drop a nuke on the Gaza Strip, considering that it's a very small
No,
part
no,
of
no,
a
no.
very small
I'm not
country.
saying. I'm not saying that's a reasonable option. I'm just saying it is an option. If
Also,
it was actually wanted, you know.
this liar, we've already discussed this. We discussed this on the very first episode of Clown World Chronicles. Israel doesn't have nukes. Duh. Like, come on. BB said so, and I trust BB. I can't even say it without laughing.
Shut the fuck up. Like, dude, look, I actually unironically kind of like Bibi Netanyahu. You know, as much flack as people would give me for that, but yeah, nah. When you talk that, that's a bunch of shit,
Yeah, no, everybody knows. Even though officially they don't have nukes, everybody knows Israel has nukes. It'd be stupid not to have nukes.
bro. Like, okay, here's the thing. They shot down their own jet that went too close to the Negev Nuclear Research Center.
Yeah.
It's their own jet, their own fighter pilot. Okay? I don't know what else to tell ya. Like, what more proof do you need, bruv?
I mean, yeah, they got nukes.
Yeah, these niggas got nukes, man. Like,
Uh, um, the debate over casualty figures was intensified by a February 2025 article published in the medical journal The Lancet, which estimated that Gaza's true death toll could be as high as 64,000. That estimate was based on statistical extrapolation using capture-recapture methods applied to a subset of ministry's data. The researchers behind the study said they only used what they called hospital records, hospital recorded deaths from June 2024, and asserted that those records were the most verified. But Eisenberg said that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. He reviewed the same June data set used by the Lancet study and found that 881 names in that core group were later removed in the March update. In his view, this undermines the foundation of the statistical model used to estimate excess mortality. Quote, they do this very careful statistical analysis, taking 3 lists and doing capture-recapture from vetted lists of hospital recorded deaths, Eisenberg said. And then I took their June list that they used again in the February report, and I found 881 were also removed from the March list. So even after a really careful study, its core data sources are not valid. So yeah, like,
again, imagine my shock.
imagine my shock. Yeah, no, this is just like, par for the course with Hamas. It's just you're never gonna get. I mean, fog of war. It is what it is. You're never gonna find like concrete death toll numbers. But whatever.
Just like any war, though, it's like, okay, well, how would you?
Yeah, it would be really hard.
Literally, how would you, right? Like,
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? So they're gonna do another Chronicles of Narnia movie, except they're gonna gender swap Aslan. They're gonna make Aslan a female lion. One of the great, Christian stories of the last 100 years, and they're going to make it woke.
Well, I mean, initially, I it must have been like something of a confirmation bias on my part, but I heard, either I heard that it's thing, but I initially thought that they were not only going to gender swap Aslan, but it's also going to be played by at least voice acted by a black woman
Oh yeah, you said the lady from the Woman
from the
King.
Woman King.
What?
Yeah,
Fuck. Give me a second. She played Amanda Waller in the DC movies. Jesus Christ, Viola Davis.
who the hell is Amanda Waller?
Oh, it's cape shit. I could take the time to explain who she is, but you don't care.
Amanda Waller. Let's see. Let me just look her up.
A big fat black woman from DC Comics.
Holy
Although
shit, that is
Viola,
funky.
well, in the movies, she's played by Viola Davis, and she's not depicted as being nearly as fat. Well, she's not depicted as being fat at all because Viola Davis is not a fat lady. But yes,
Yes.
she's played by Viola Davis in Suicide Squad and Suicide Squad, the sequel to that movie, and then she also appeared in Black Adam. Like, yeah, she's good. She was good as Amanda Waller. Like, as far as like on screen Amanda Wallers go, like I liked it. Like I was like, okay, I like
Hmm.
this. Is good. She's believable. Um, but anyway, yeah. It's also going to be directed by Greta Gerwig, who directed the Barbie movie. Greta Gerwig, director of Barbie, is reportedly planning to gender swap Aslan, the lion who represents a Christ-like figure in C.S. Lewis's iconic Chronicles of Narnia series, for her upcoming Netflix adaptation of The Magician's Nephew. According to Nexus Point News, none other than Meryl Streep is in talks to voice the reimagined Aslan. Netflix, in partnership with Gerwig, appears to be taking Narnia in a drastically different direction. Lewis, a devout Christian, infused his novels with unmistakable Christian allegory. Aslan, the great lion, is not just a guide or a wise creature. He's the literal stand-in for Jesus Christ in Lewis's fictional universe, sacrificing himself in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to atone for the sins of Edmund Pensive, or Pevens. He's shaved, beaten, and ridiculed while strapped to the stone table where his life ends, only to rise again in a powerful allusion to the resurrection. Swapping the gender of Aslan doesn't just change a character; it rewrites the spiritual heart of the entire series.
Hmm.
So, like, why do they always do this? Like, we make fun of them. It's a meme. The Netflix adaptation, you know, turns everything black and gay. It's just like, why do they keep doing this? Like, you think they would learn? Like, would they not like sit down, like the board of directors, and go, Greta, no, no. Like, look, if you want to cast a black guy to do Aslan's voice, we'll get behind you on that. But for the love of God, do not make Aslan a female lion.
Yeah, because like it's a lion, right? Like I mean, you know, you know, like, it's not too much of an issue. But like, why gender bend it?
Yeah. And
Like,
besides,
what the fuck?
imagine if you're like, hey, Idris Elba, you want to be the voice of Aslan in this Netflix Narnia thing? Like, he would probably go, fuck yeah, I want to be Aslan. Or get Morgan Freeman. Like, there are so many like black actors who, like, and this is just an easy example, getting a black guy to do it. Like,
You know who would be the best voice for Aslan though?
who?
Mel Gibson.
Aslan gets pissed off. You will come over here and blow me. Aslan gets drunk and blames everything on the Jews.
Look, the witch and witch in the west. Look at how her nose curves and how she shambles from the light. It's a mark of the Jew.
Mel Gibson gets shit faced. He's like, "Do not speak the old language to me, Jew." I was there when it was written.
Do not recite the Gospels to me, Jew. I was there when they were being played out.
This movie, if confirmed, would mark one of the most radical reinterpretations of a beloved literary figure in
Radical?
recent
It's
memory.
not radical. It's just gay. It's gay.
Put a chick in
That's
it,
what
make
it
her label
fucking is.
gay. God, South Park, man. For South Park to have been around for Jesus Christ, South Park debuted in I think '97, almost 30 years, and they still got it. Like The Simpsons
You
fell
know,
off.
I never actually finished like an entire episode of South Park in my life.
No, well, that's good stuff. But like The Simpsons fell off, right?
Yeah.
Family Guy fell off. South Park
Mm,
still going.
mm. It's because when I first heard about South Park, um, they did that whole Bleeding Virgin Mary episode, and that just sort of just turned me off
I don't
of
remember
it.
that one.
Okay, this was like 2003.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
they've made fun of Catholic stuff, but the great thing about South Park is they genuinely do make fun of everyone.
Yeah, no, I get that, but yeah, like that was one of my very earliest exposures to South Park, so I just never really got around to it.
I
Like,
think,
I'm
like,
not saying that,
I think every Islam has gotten it, Jews have gotten it, every kind of Christianity has gotten it, Protestantism, Catholics, Mormons, all of it.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, like, it caught me at a bad time, I guess.
Yeah, no, fair enough. While adaptations are always subject to creative license, few stories are as steeped in religious symbolism as Narnia. Aslan isn't just male because Lewis flipped a coin. His masculinity is intentionally tied to the Christian symbolism behind the character. In the 2005 to 2010 Walden Media films, Liam Neeson voiced the lion with quiet power and authority, emphasizing Aslan's sacrificial and redemptive role. Now, with Gerwig reportedly bringing in Meryl Streep, who hasn't appeared in a film since 2021's Don't Look Up, the portrayal could pivot toward a completely different tone. And it's not just the casting. Reports say that Gerwig's adaptation of The Magician's Nephew will be the first in her 2-movie Netflix deal, though Netflix apparently plans to produce 8 Narnia films in total with or without her. Other names rumored to be in the cast include Daniel Craig, Charlie XCX, who I've never heard of, and Cerise Ronan. Or Saoirse, I think is how you actually are supposed to pronounce that. Streep, a 21-time Oscar nominee, has lately been focused on television work, most notably appearing in Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. She's also rumored to play Joni Mitchell in a still uncertain Cameron Crowe biopic, but playing Aslan would be something else entirely, and in this case, something controversial. Make no mistake, changing Aslan's gender, especially under the direction of someone whose last project was aggressively feminist Barbie, will be seen by many as a deliberate act of ideological reimagining. No, it'll be seen as a deliberate insult to Christians everywhere, to C.S. Lewis himself specifically, and to Christianity in general. Like, I assure you, Netflix, this will flop if this happens. Okay? Christians, who are still the majority of this country, will reject this wholesale. They will. They will not watch it. To swap the gender of such an overt Christ allegory in a beloved Christian fantasy series isn't just revision, it's provocation. If Gerwig and Netflix proceeded with this casting, they may be inviting a storm of criticism from longtime fans, faith-based audiences, and even casual viewers who simply want faithful adaptations. This will flop. It will. It's going to flop. Simple as. I mean, look, fucking, like, one of the things that make male lions so fucking epic is the mane. Like, female lions just look like big cats. Like, look at this. This is fucking epic. Like, take the mane off, and he just looks like a big kitty. Like, it doesn't, like, so,
He
like,
becomes gay.
visually, it doesn't help. The mane helps the lion look bigger and more intimidating. Without the mane, like,
Mm.
what's the point? You know, why use a lion? Like, just change it to a more visually striking animal. Like, use tigers or some shit. Like, if you're gonna make Aslan a female, you may as well just go for it. But even then, it doesn't matter what they do. This is going to flop. It's going to flop on its ass. Bad call, Netflix. Netflix still clearly hasn't learned their lesson, and it's pathetic.
Well, Netflix still clearly has money to burn. Jeez.
Well, they are. They built. For years they're the original streaming platform. So like they had a decade or more almost of unchallenged where they were just printing money basically. So they have
Yeah.
money to burn, but that can't last forever.
No. Like I'm just wondering when it'll fucking stop. But we'll
So
see.
a guy from Colorado. This is the second guy who's been caught for this, as far as I know. Anyway, the other one I covered on one of my solo videos. A Korean communist who lives in fuck, I can't even remember where now. But I can't. It's we're almost 2 hours in and whatever. Like I don't see how Cory Booker could fucking talk for 24 hours straight. I do 2 hours of podcasting and I'm fucking confused by the end of it.
Well, he's. I mean, if your default is confused, then you don't need to worry. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I watched like 10 minutes of him talking. It's just him fucking whining.
Yeah, I know. But
So
Colorado.
he's having like the 10 minutes I watched was him having another fucking I'm Spartacus moment.
Yeah, it's literally yeah. And that's what I said in my solo video. His whole thing is this is all self-celebratory. He did this for himself. That's
Oh, you
why
do
he
solo videos now, do you, Papi?
say what now?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, I didn't even hear what you said.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Nevada. No, say it
Nevada.
again. What did you say? No, I want to hear it.
Nothing. Don't worry. I said you do solo videos now, do you, Papi?
Yes, I don't get it. Are you saying like, wait, what? Oh, wait. I think I got what I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. No,
The Jack, what's his name? Jack Murphy type.
Yeah. He wasn't solo in his videos though. He was with his wife at the time.
Wait, really? Fuck!
Yeah.
I thought he was doing solo shit.
No, he probably did do a couple like just solo like jerk off streams, but like as far as I know, there was a lot of it was him and his wife doing stuff together.
Well, yeah. Like I imagine, I thought that he had the solo shit when he was doing stuff like sticking shit up his ass and all that. I would have thought that was solo.
That was solo. Yeah, you're right. He did do
Yeah.
solo video. Yeah, okay, he did. But like most of the content he made for Chatterbait, I think was the website he was on. But most of the stuff that he made was stuff he did
When
with
he
his
had to
wife.
shit with his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked behavior still. Like I wouldn't want. Can you imagine fucking putting that shit on your wife putting your wife on display for other men to fucking fap over?
God, what was he said in one video? I can't remember the exact line, but it was hilarious. He didn't call himself bi-curious. He called himself something. I can't remember what it is, but it doesn't matter. Colorado, but anyway, it was in Vegas. The Vegas Tesla bomber got caught, and now the Colorado Tesla bomber has also been caught. Colorado. So anyway, this is the white pills to end. By the way, I got two of them for us because we're still going to do that. Going to end with some good news. So good news, they caught one of the guys who were blowing up Teslas here in the U.S. Cooper Frederick was arrested in Plano, Texas, for the alleged attack on a Tesla dealership in Loveland, Colorado. And Pam Bondi said justice is coming. So. A man accused of firebombing a Tesla dealership in Colorado is facing federal charges, Attorney General Pam Bondi said on Monday. Cooper Joe Frederick, 24, was arrested in Plano, Texas on suspicions of attacking a Tesla dealership in March.
The hell kind of name is Cooper Joe Frederick?
That is a...
one of my mentors told me never to trust someone with two first names and to trust someone with three even less.
Yeah. Yep. Cooper Joe Frederick. Let this be a quote. Let this be a warning. You can run, but you cannot hide. Bondi said in a video message. Justice is coming. Frederick, a resident of Fort Collins, Colorado, allegedly ignited an incendiary device and hurled it at the dealership, narrowly missing several parked vehicles. The device landed between two cars, created a fire, Loveland police said. Several people
Yeah.
inside the dealership who were cleaning the building were present at the time, police said. However, a quick-thinking officer at the scene extinguished the flames and no one was harmed. The building and several vehicles were also damaged by rocks, police said. Quote, I've made it clear that if you take part in the wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, we will find you, arrest you, and put you behind bars, Bondi said. All these cases are a serious threat to public safety. Therefore, there will be no negotiation. And I actually agree this is domestic terrorism. The same way that the BLM protests were domestic terrorism, this is domestic terrorism. This is, and in the classic definition of terrorism, calculated use of violence to achieve political ends. And this is exactly what these Tesla attacks are.
100%.
Frederick was arrested.
It's the same with the BLM riots. Those were terrorism too, even though no one wanted to fucking classify them as such.
Nope, they didn't. Frederick was arrested a week after the attack. Federal prosecutors are seeking 20 years in prison, Bondi said. Good. Make example out of these cunts. In addition to the federal charges against him, Frederick is also facing local charges, including second-degree arson and possession of explosives and incendiary devices. He's one of several suspects charged in connection with attacks on Tesla dealerships and factories in recent weeks. The attacks appeared to center on Tesla CEO Elon Musk and his role with the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. Lucy Grace Nelson, 42, also known as Justin Thomas Nelson, is also facing charges in connection with a separate February 27th incident at the same Loveland dealership. Tranny. Man, the tranny domestic terrorist pipeline, that's got to be studied at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
In response to the attacks, the FBI has launched a task force to crack down on the violence, with the groups created in conjunction with the ATF to coordinate investigative activity.
Trying to domestic terrorist pipeline.
I mean, there's been a lot of those in the last couple of years.
yeah, I agree.
Excuse me. But yeah, you know, justice is coming for these guys. Like, look, Pam Bondi's not perfect. She's done a lot of dumb shit. You know, the fucking packet. I can't. Jesus Christ, so much shit happens. Like, oh god, you remember the fucking a few weeks ago when they released the packet on the Epstein files. You know, that they gave to like Jack Posobiec and Libs of TikTok and like all these people. And it ended up just being like stuff we already knew. You know, like, so she's had some blunders. She's not been perfect, but like when it comes to stuff like this, I'm like, okay, good on Pam Bondi. We need like a firebrand to really just start cracking down on people, putting people in prison. Like hell, her office on the federal charges because Luigi Mangione has federal murder charges applying against him too. They're seeking Pam Bondi's seeking the death penalty.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's what I said in the solo video that fuck off. In the video that I made I made a video about her calling for his execution if he's found guilty on the federal murder charges. And yeah, good. And the article that I read on that even stated that, like, traditionally, the because you know the state case will happen first and then the federal case will happen second. And if the state case doesn't apply the death penalty, then traditionally the federal case wouldn't seek it. Pam Bondi said, "Fuck that. New York doesn't have the death penalty. I do." Like, so, and there's no law in place that says, you know, if the state charges don't apply the death penalty, that the federal charges can't. Like, no, they can. And in the case of Luigi Mangione, I think they should. Anyway, more good news, and I picked this story specifically for you. Trump admin to defend Catholic charities in key SCOTUS case while fighting Oregon lower court.
Oh, beautiful.
Shout out to the Daily Caller, who I think I pulled 2 articles for this episode from. There were possibly 3. Ongoing lawsuits involving Catholic charities have put the Trump administration in an unusual position, an ally in one controversy and a primary opponent in another. The Trump administration will back Catholic Charities' religious liberty case at the Supreme Court on Monday amid separate legal disputes with the organization over taxpayer funding for refugee resettlement programs. The local Catholic Charities agencies are led by the bishop of the diocese where they are located, but many choose to join the nationwide Catholic Charities USA membership organization. Catholic Charities Bureau, an arm of the Diocese of Superior in Wisconsin, is asking the Supreme Court to find that it qualifies for Wisconsin's unemployment tax exemption for religious organizations, which the state denied after determining the ministry services to the poor and needy could have been provided by a secular entity. The United States will participate in oral arguments to urge the justices to rule in their favor. Quote, this court has long recognized that church autonomy protects religious groups. Ecclesiastical decisions about how they structure their polity, Catholic Charities argues in court filings. Here, the diocese and Catholic Charities have made religious decisions rooted in the Catholic Church's teachings on charity and church governance about how to structure their ministry to the needs, to the needy across 15,000 square miles of rural northern Wisconsin. But Wisconsin penalizes those religious decisions by denying Catholic Charities a tax-exempt status based on its religiously motivated church structure, thus severing one part of the body ecclesiastic from the rest of the church. So essentially, the church is charging the state is charging the church taxes for its charity work, when traditionally it being an arm of the church would be exempt from such taxes.
Mm-hmm.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court found Catholic Charities did not operate, quote, primarily for religious purposes, denying its efforts to secure tax exemption that would allow it to join the Catholic Church's unemployment program. The Trump administration argued in its brief that the lower court's reasoning would permit government officials or judges to second-guess the sufficiency of religious values, inspect practitioners' adherence to religious doctrine, and discriminate among various faiths. Under the proper understanding of religious employer exemption, petitioners organizations that serve as the social ministry arm of a diocese of the Roman Catholic Church are operated primarily for religious purposes. Essentially, they claim that it's their religious duty to be charitable, and thus this falls under the,
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, most religions have that requirement to be charitable, right?
Yeah, most Christian religions, sure, yeah. Most Christianity.
No, even Muslims have that thing.
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called zakat.
Oh.
Which is literally, charity.
Oh, we got us a little Pam Bondi
Since
video.
you're in the back row, I hear you. The back row hasn't gotten much attention in the last 4 years, so I'm happy to answer your question.
I can project. Does the president intend to permanently cut off funding to NGOs that are bringing illegal foreign nationals to the country, such as Catholic Charities?
I am actually quite certain that the president signed an executive order that did just that, and I can point you to that.
One more, Caroline. President Trump issued an executive order on increased vetting for refugees in visa applications.
Right.
Part of that order was considering an outright ban for countries that have deficient screening processes. Has the president considered yet which countries might fall into this category, or countries like Afghanistan or Syria under consideration for a full ban?
Yeah, so the president signed an executive order to streamline the vetting for visa applicants and for illegal immigrants in this country who are coming, of course, from other nations. It also directed the Secretary of State to review the process and make sure that other countries around the world are being completely transparent with our nation and the individuals that they are sending here. And so the Secretary of State has been directed to report back to the president. I haven't seen that report yet. We've only been here for a few days.
This does raise an interesting point. There has been a bit of a controversy here in the United States. I don't know if you heard about this, but one of the organizations that are helping illegals, some people claim cross the border, period. From what I understand, they're mostly helping them after they've crossed the border, are Catholic Charities. Because, a lot of...
I'm not surprised, because there are a lot of Catholic charities that are cucked.
Yeah, and a lot, but
as well.
it also kind of makes sense because a lot of these people from Central and South America are Catholic, so
Catholics, yeah.
it kind of stands to
And
reason.
they do still adhere to the principle of sanctuary.
Yeah, but I mean that's a problem. We gotta this is where kind of the rubber meets the road with kind of what takes precedence. Like this is a nation; it has laws, and
Hmm.
right now those laws seem to be conflicting
Be
with.
getting ignored.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying they're obviously being ignored, but I'm saying they're kind of conflicting with you know the duty, I guess you would say, the Catholic duty to provide succor and sanctuary to anyone in general that needs it, but specifically fellow Catholics. Like,
No, but that's why I love you know the future president of the United States and current vice president talked about this concept of the Ordo Amoris, right?
yes, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that he.
which is also a quintessentially Catholic doctrine.
Oh,
So
and that
you
kicked
know,
off. That sparked a huge debate on X. I was there. It's like and of JD Vance basically saying that your first loyalty is to your family, and then your community,
hmm
and then your country, and
yeah. Or in other words, the heat map is undefeated.
yeah, exactly. The yeah, exactly. In group preference versus out group preference. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yep.
Uh,
Now, meanwhile, the Trump administration has been involved in disputes with Catholic charities agencies across the country over terminating funding for refugee resettlement programs. For years, Republicans have called out the group for using taxpayer funds to help facilitate illegal immigration, including by purchasing airline tickets for migrants. Catholic Charities Fort Worth indicates Tuesday it would help drop a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services after the agency resumed payments, depositing nearly $47 million in previously frozen funds for refugee services. Now, it's interesting um, to me that they this article. I get why the two stories are related. On the one hand, the Trump admin is going to bat for one Catholic charity in the north of America in Wisconsin, but then they're also fighting these Catholic charities that are predominantly operating probably in the southern half of the country. Because I mean, I'm sure there are probably Catholic charities all over the country, north, south, east, west, who are helping facilitate the illegals. But I would say that if I had to guess, I would imagine that most of them are probably situated in Southern California, Texas, New Mexico, the very Catholic parts of the country, A, and then B, but also where they neighbor Mexico, which is a predominantly Catholic country. So,
yeah, which is and also like where the southern border is where most of these are happening.
yes.
Like yes, like we talked about how there is an invasion also from the northern border.
Yeah.
But come on, like if you're gonna be honest, like most of it is coming from the south still.
No, of course. It's the reason why the north border is the problem is that there are no barriers on the northern border. None. It is the
And there's
longest.
barely any border patrol agents as well, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, because for basically centuries we didn't really have to worry about it
mm-hmm.
because it's Canada, for fuck's sake. Like, what are Canadians gonna,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Canadians? What are we gonna worry about? They fucking But now, people are realizing, wait a minute, I can fly into Canada and then just walk across the street in some
Yep.
places. Some places, literally, all you gotta do, you walk across the road and
Yep.
you're in the United States. Whereas, at least
Mm-hmm.
in crossing the Mexico border with the United States can be pretty dangerous depending upon where you are.
Yep.
You've got the fucking Rio Grande River. You've got the border wall in some places, the
Yeah.
Darien
So you
Gap.
like in the north you get it's more the richer people that are becoming a problem.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
richer invaders, Chinese, Indians,
And then there's more fentanyl coming in through Canada also because again it's less scrutinized, so it's easier.
Chinese.
Yeah, it's easier to smuggle drugs.
No, no, so Chinese.
Well, yeah,
Like
Chinese.
as much as I hate to pull the race card, it literally is Chinese
Hmm.
because most of the world's supply of fent comes from China.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm
So,
not denying that at all. It's not great.
hmm
But yeah, no, the Trump administration finds itself in an interesting place here. But like I said, I think this is overall good news because, or at least it's good news for Catholics, it's good news for Christians. The idea that Trump is going, no, 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 hold on. If you're doing charity work, you should probably keep your tax exempt status, which is good news for churches.
Mm.
But then at the same time, he's also saying, but if you're going to facilitate illegal immigration into this country, then you're going to lose some subsidies. You're going to lose federal funding for your charities. So, like I said, kind of good news. Like the story, and like I said, the story is like both kind of like good news, bad news, but not even bad news. It's like good news and like not great news. Like I don't know. It's an interesting turn. It's an interesting turn of events. But yeah, that was that's the show. That was a good one. That was good. We did good. We did good. Did 2 hours and 17
Mm.
minutes. No, but it felt good. We're back, and it feels good to be back.
Yeah. No, I just I'm really looking forward to the what's the word? To how, like, I mean, fuck, we're only in April, dude. It's been less than 3 months.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
And just the fact that
the
it's
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, just the fact that it's only been 3 months, and yet it's like, you know it's been only 3 months, and there's so much that's been accomplished.
Yeah, I know.
And the fact that they're keeping track of the accomplishments too is a great thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is. And yep, the like I'm telling you, I'm not tired of winning yet. Trump said I was going to get
Yep.
tired of winning, but I'm not. Now, to be fair, the tariff thing has me nervous, only because like I said before publicly that I was pro tariff, but I also was specific that for like China or BRICS countries specifically, China countries that I felt like were actual enemy nations. He's like
Hmm.
shotgunning tariffs on anybody who ever tariffed an American product, and that could go bad. Like it's possible that a lot of these people don't play ball, and now we've got higher prices and nothing to show for it. Now, if we can get better trade deals with these countries and prices can level off or go back down to
Look,
like,
it's possible, but I'm not sure if I would be that worried about it.
yeah, no, I don't know either, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like I
Mm.
said, that's the only thing Trump's done so far were the Liberation Day tariffs. And again, I knew he was going to tariff people. Like I just didn't expect. Holy shit, he tariffed like every country in the world. And he also tariffed countries that I didn't expect him to tariff. Like I didn't expect him to tariff Japan. I really didn't, because I know tariff Japan
Or Israel.
Well, yeah, I couldn't
That
see
was
that
that
coming
was the
either.
funny thing, because it finally shut up the whole. Donald Trump is a Israeli stooge.
Well, the problem with
Oh.
that is that could also backfire, because if let's say Israel says, "Fine, well, we flinch, no more tariffs
Mhm.
on American products coming into Israel," and Trump
Mhm.
goes, "Thank you, Israel. No more tariffs on Israeli products coming into the U.S." Promises
Mhm.
made, promises kept. If Israel is the first country to flinch and we're the first country to actually make a proper deal with, it's just going to reignite that fire. It's just like, it doesn't mean he's an Israeli stooge. It means the Israelis, being the Jews, were the first ones to go, "Hey, Gewalt, we got to make a better deal." Like, and like, yeah, it turns out the Jews are good at making deals. That's kind of their thing.
Mm.
But no, like I said, the Japan tariffs kind of like blew my mind a little bit, only because like Japan has always had tariffs on our stuff coming in, but the tariffs aren't exuberant. Like we just had them up on the screen. I can't remember what they are, but like we import so much Japanese shit. Like somebody on Trump's team, and I know he probably didn't want to look weak, or he didn't want to make it seem like he's playing favorites, but like somebody somewhere on Trump's like advisory team is like, "Listen, okay, Japan is really popular with the Americans. You probably don't want to tariff Japan too hard. People really like Japanese stuff. Like, listen,
Yep.
there's an entire generation of kids who their body pillows are going to get tariffed." And now, to be fair, the body pillows are made in China, so they were going to get tariffed no matter what. That's the other thing. Depending upon where, like the Switch 2, for instance, it's going to be affected by the tariffs. Depending upon where the Switch 2 is manufactured. Like, I don't think they do I mean, they probably do some manufacturing in Japan, but I bet the Switch 2 primarily going to be manufactured in China, which means even if Japan makes a deal and we ease up the tariffs on Japanese products, the Switches might still get tariffed because they come from China and not Japan. China. No, I don't know. Like I said, the tariffs are the only thing that kind of have me nervous. Like, we'll see. And that's just because, like, it's still, like, I don't know. Like I said, I was okay with the idea of us tariffing the shit out of all the BRICS countries. I didn't think we were going to tariff everyone on the fucking planet. You know, like, try to use tariffs as a way to, like, basically break up BRICS. Because, like, BRICS is, like, I think BRICS is a problem. I mean, it's not. BRICS have been around for a while and it hasn't been a problem, but like I you know, now that a bunch of them are actually moving, because even while they were in the BRICS alliance, they weren't moving to get rid of the they weren't trying to stop using the U.S. dollar as their reserve currency, but now they are. Well, China and Russia are. As far as I know, India and Brazil. India and Brazil haven't made moves to try to get off the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, but like they're the biggest fucking BRICS people there, right? Like it's a bit fucking confusing when it comes to that shit.
Yeah, BRICS is kind of a shit show, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
God, what's the S in BRICS? Brazil, India,
South Africa.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, who gives a shit about South Africa? Like, what's South Africa produce that we buy? You know what I mean? Like, what do we got down there? South African diamonds? Like, you know, like
rape gangs and.
Yep, something. I don't know, but all right, let's fucking.
Yeah, no clue to be honest.
No, but yo, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for giving views. I need more likes though. We need to get the likes up. These are like, it's got 1 like right now. We need to pump these numbers up. These are rookie numbers. And get in the chat, you fucks. Come on. Like, we got, even if the community's small, we need, like, let's build one. Come on, let's get the chat going. Let's get because I see you watching. At one point, we had like 12 people, which is, you know, good for us having this been the first, like, Clown World we've done in a while. Oh, look at that. Somebody just stopped watching, probably because I'm talking shit. It's okay. Seriously. Smash the like button and follow the channel. You know, just do all the algorithm shit because it helps. It really does. Like, especially now that I'm on the other side of this and I see the analytics. The videos that actually get likes do get more views. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, yeah, because it gets pushed in the algorithm. It's like, oh, people like this video. Let me show it to more people. That's what the algorithm says.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I'm glad we're back.
I just need to be more consistent. Like, I mean, we were both we were talking about like how we were both riding the high of the 2024 election. Like, I still am actually.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been consistent. Like, I'm down to do this every Saturday again. So.
Yeah.
Yep. We just gotta. You know, we gotta make it happen.
Yep. No, I mean, if it's about this time every Saturday, I'd be up for it.
Yeah, well, it probably will. We'll make it. But anyway, well, let's find out next Saturday. But yeah, no. In the meantime, smash the like button, cunts, and we'll see you guys next week.